EleutherAI has recently released GPT-J-6B as a model on HuggingFace, and there's a lot of hype around it because, as you can see here, it has 16,000 downloads in the course of a couple of days, while their biggest model has 188,000 downloads in a matter of months. So I think there's a lot of interest in such models because there aren't many of them that are good when it comes to performance. When it comes to real world performance, GPT-J6B is pretty much on par with the lowest OpenAI GPT-3. I think it's Curie. Uh, I think it's on par with Curie, but I'm not sure. So GPT-J6B has 100 how many, no, it has 6 billion parameters, um, and this can actually be downloaded and run locally. Compared to the 2.7 billion models, it's believed to be faster. However, I cannot say that for sure until I'm actually going to test this. So maybe if there is interest, we're going to test it in a future video. But for now, we can still test it on the 6B EleutherAI. What I want to say is that you can actually access this model via the hosted inference API. So if you sign up with an account here on you can sign up with a free account, and you can actually try the accelerated instance or inference. Let me see if I can actually log in and access it. Maybe I can access it, but I don't want my API key to be shown here. Let's see if I can try. Last time I checked, it said this model cannot be loaded when I tried actually accessing it via the hosted inference API. But let's see if we do compute here. So the model EleutherAI is too large to be loaded automatically. Okay, that means that you should actually deploy it via the accelerated inference, which you can access for free. I don't like the HuggingFace pricing when it comes to the accelerated inference API. I think it's not very optimal for individual researchers. It's mostly tailored to large companies, because when it comes to $9 a month, you get 300,000 characters, which is about maybe 40 to 60,000 words of generation, and you can actually, if you're using a very large model, you can actually run out of them in, I don't know, maybe a matter of minutes. So this isn't very good for individuals, but it's mostly better for organizations. And I kept criticizing their pricing model, and they don't seem to do anything about it. Anyways, maybe because they're not interested in providing support or tailoring to individual researchers. But anyways, I mean, they're not the only one on the street, so to speak. So you can actually look into other models. Like for example, the AI21 Studios that I've been doing video on. I think I've done a couple of videos on AI21 Studios, and you can access their J1 Jumbo for free. I think you can. Last time I checked, it was a couple of weeks ago. You were able to generate like sort of 10,000 tokens or something. Let's see right now. You can see my API key, but I'm actually going to rotate it. So for the jumbo one, you still have 10,000 completions per day, uh, which is enough to be testing. You can get more by actually applying for custom models. Alright, back to EleutherAI. So you can access their GPT-J-6B via your own you download the model, and then you load it in your on your local machine or on your VPS, and then call the model from there. The To actually use it in transformers is pretty straightforward. You can just import it. So auto tokenizers, you need to get an auto tokenizer, an auto model for casual LM, and then from pre-train you just call this. You instantiate a tokenizer, you instantiate the model, and then you just call the model for whatever type of completion you want to do. In this case, it's very good for text generation. We can of course try it out here, and let's say last time I checked, so this is better. The GPT-J-6B is better than the 2.7 billion, not only because it's slightly larger, but also because it's been improved for speed, and we can actually test it out in a future video. Right now we're only gonna test it out here. Let's say the formula, or the quadratic equation formula, or the quadratic equation formula is, let's set it to a lower temperature. We could simply do a temperature of 0, top P of 1, and then run the model. Let's see how it actually takes. It may take to a minute to generate, but in this case, from what I know, the inference model, the accelerated inference model, if you want to use it via their API, is faster. Should be done in a couple of seconds. In this case, this is done in a couple of seconds, but it's not very helpful. So the quadratic, if you know that, and that is a square you can use to find the square root by solving for the square. However, what if it's not a square? Anyway, let's try it again. Let's say the quadratic equation formula is, and then run the model. So it took maybe 20 to 30 seconds. In this case, the GPT from HuggingFace via their hosted inference. As I've tried it yesterday, they didn't have this throttle. They allowed the model to be loaded automatically yesterday, but it seems like too many people have started using it, and they actually imposed some sort of restrictions. They should have done that from the very first place. Now, loading the model from here, actually running a computation, actually took me a matter of 10 seconds. I would say that the API, calling the API is on par with that, so a matter of seconds. And when it comes to downloading the model and actually computing and making generations from your local machine, the completion speed only depends on the specs of the system that you're using. So this is not very good. Let's do a simple math. 2 plus 2 over 2. This should be equal to 3. Let's try the same with the Studio AI since we're still here. So the quadratic equation formula is, let's do temperature 0, top P1, max completion. Let's leave it to 40. We go to the large model, we go to the jumbo model and do generate. Let's see how it actually takes. Ooh. So my completion wasn't good. Try again. So it starts with the dot, and since the temperature is 0, it's only going to do the same thing. Let's raise the temperature to 0.35. Let's run this again. Maybe it's gonna do better. Hard for these models to actually compare. Yeah, so it's very repetitive. What if we do a colon? Now we're talking. So AI21Studio raised to the level. In this case, uh, GPT-J fails epically. If we raise the temperature again, do the same thing one more time. Well, when it comes to performance, I do think that AI21Studio is better than GPT-J. I've tested it with, so it's not doing anything. I mean, I may probably be biased by trying it on stuff that's not good, that won't fare good, but still, I do not undermine the effort of EleutherAI, and I highly appreciate their work when it comes to trying to publicly make these types of models available for everyone to use. And I love EleutherAI especially because of their pile data set, which is very, very high quality in my opinion. Now, I would say in terms of efficiency, AI21Studio is better. And like I said, in a future video, I will be testing this to see how fast it actually loads via the API, because I don't think I'm going to actually download the model and tested it on my machine, even though my machine is quite good. So this video was actually to bring awareness on the fact that GPT-J-6B is on HuggingFace.